Jan friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the CHANAKYA Dialogues English. I mean, whatever the hell happens in this world, nobody is going to compromise upon the security of Israel. No Western country will do it. I'm here not supporting Russia's aggression on Ukraine. I'm not saying that is okay. But I'm saying that the West has ditched Zelensky. Jan friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the CHANAKYA Dialogues English. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Now, you must be thinking why I'm smiling. And I'm smiling because, my suspicions have come true. What I was wondering all along has come true. America finds it very difficult to be faithful to a partner for a certain amount of time. After some time, America starts losing interest. Where America is not the focal point, not the place where the spotlight is. America loses interest very fast, and this has happened. This exactly is what I was thinking all along, that America's involvement in Ukraine is not open-ended. Joe Biden might have made tall statements, and he did. We'll stand by with Ukraine till the end. He said it. And so many other leaders, of the West, the white and the West, they said we are standing with Ukraine and, we'll till the end, till the time Russia has not pushed back, we will stand with Ukraine. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what the latest news is. Now, US President Joe Biden and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz have allegedly agreed to limit the supply of weapons and ammunition to Ukraine. There is something called war fatigue and there is something called donor fatigue. And war fatigue and donor fatigue have set in. And now people don't want to invest any longer in the Ukraine war. Now, here is what has happened. The United States and Germany are reportedly encouraging Ukraine to end its war with Russia due to war fatigue and economic challenges. Now, obviously, on one side you have Ukraine, which is not an ally, but an ally of sorts. And on the other side you have Israel. And Israel is an ironclad ally of the West. Ironclad. Absolutely ironclad. I mean, whatever the hell happens in this world, nobody is going to compromise upon the security of Israel. No Western country will do it. And I'm telling you these, when you talk about Judo-Christian values or Judo-Christian civilizational values, this is not empty talk. This exists. This absolutely exists. Now, and they have, both the leaders, which says President Joe Biden and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, are now pressurizing Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to engage in peace talks with Russia's Vladimir Putin. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Now both these countries, Olaf Scholz of Germany and Joe Biden of the United States of America, together are pressurizing Zelensky. And Zelensky was speaking through his hat all the time. He had sent hundreds of thousands of people to the borders and thousands to their deaths. And this man said that I will defeat Russia and everything. He was speaking because America was standing behind him. He was speaking like this because he realized that the Western countries, NATO was solidly behind him. Now suddenly America says that no, there is war fatigue here. There is donor fatigue. We don't think we can help you very much. And I think you need to make peace with Vladimir Putin. Now what happened all of a sudden? There are a couple of things, I'll tell you. It's not so straightforward, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like what you and I are thinking right now that, they don't want to give money and this thing. That's a separate case. Money is one part of it, but it's not a big part. Weapons are a small part of it, not a big part. The real point here is that Russia, because of Russia's attack on Ukraine, the West took a certain absolutist position. Now, I want you to listen to this very carefully. The West took a certain absolutist position. They said, no, we're going to break Russia and we'll do everything we can to stop Russia, this and that. This pushed Russia into the Chinese embrace. It was already very friendly with China. But after the Ukraine war, Russia and China became absolutely united. And Russia and China together are a very formidable force, by the way. They're a very, very formidable force. If anybody has any doubts whatsoever as to, what they can face and what they can or cannot do, you'll be shocked. China is not a military superpower and Russia is not an economic superpower. But China is an economic superpower and Russia is a military superpower, and together they can take on the United States of America. The US knows this. The US knows this, and one of the reasons of asking Zelensky to take a step back and themselves taking a few steps back and saying that, hey, maybe we can't support you as much as we had promised, is the fact that they want to get the Russians out of the Chinese embrace, because once that embrace is ironclad, it's going to be very difficult. China is a challenge in itself, but China and Russia, it's going to be very difficult. India has a relationship with both. With Russia, we have extremely friendly relations. With China, we have exceptional trade going on, even though the relations and the diplomacy is not at the best. But we have trade going on. With Russia, we have certain hooks, as they say. And Russia has hooks with us. I'll not lie. It's there out in the open. They have leverage on India. We have leverage on Russia. But the fact of the matter is that the more you push Russia, the more you try to make Russia a pariah state, the more you try to say that, this sanction on Russia and that sanction on Russia, it just pushes them into the Chinese embrace. So, is nobody buying Russian oil? Hell with the world. We couldn't care less. We'll sell it to China. We'll sell it to India. Then what happens? America is thinking now, then what happens? Where does this stop? Tomorrow, Russia and China and India, because India has great working relations with China, even though we may not have the best of diplomatic relations, we have great trade relations. We have excellent, exceptional relations with the Russians. I almost said USSR. We have exceptional relationship with the Russians. We have great relationship with the Iranians. What if Iran comes on board here? Then what happens? This is a nightmare scenario, and I think it's high time they stopped supporting that fool Zelensky, because that guy, he's been on the cover of Time twice. He has made, I think, $300 or $400 or $500 million for himself, and billions of dollars have been siphoned out by his cabinet. Every man a thief. And I'm here not supporting Russia's aggression on Ukraine. I'm not saying that is okay. But I'm saying that the West has ditched Zelensky. And Zelensky was a fool. And Zelensky was a guy who started believing, as the Americans, there's a saying, Americans saying, believing in your own press. He started believing in his own press. And now this says that the intention to supply Ukraine with an appropriate amount of weapons to maintain its position, but not enough to reclaim lost territory, aiming to put Ukraine in a strategically favorable negotiating position. Now, what they are saying is that appropriate amount of weapons. What is appropriate amount of weapons? Now, Russia already has 17.5% of Ukrainian land. And America has literally told, and Germany has literally told Russia that you can keep that 17.5% of Ukrainian land. That's what has happened. Now, are you seeing this entire game, ladies and gentlemen? America has withdrawn. Now, America is sending these messages to Russia. And the Russians are pretty smart. They'll not be taken in by words. And these are actions by the Americans, because they know that the Russians are smart and they'll not be taken in by words. So what they're saying is, we are giving you enough weapons to maintain your sovereignty or whatever little is left of it. But that 17.5% of Ukrainian land with Russia remains with Russia. America has accepted it. Okay? If formal negotiations between Kiev and Moscow do not occur, the US and Germany anticipate a frozen conflict as an alternative, creating a quasi border between Ukraine and Russia. That's it. And where will that border be? That border will be counting the 17.5% of Ukrainian territory in Russia. So if you don't agree on a formal border, let it be a quasi border. Now, Germany and America also say that if negotiations between Kiev and Moscow fail, they will create a sort of a border which is acceptable to at least 2 or 3 or 4 people, but not a firm border. This is something like a quasi border between Ukraine and Russia. But this border will be different, because this statement tells me that America and Ukraine have actually accepted the fact. They have accepted the fact in their hearts that 17.5% has gone to Russia. It will stay with Russia. It is never coming back to Ukraine. It has accepted it. Now, it says that in case peace talks fail, the US and Germany have a plan B for a frozen conflict, even without an official agreement between the conflicting parties, that we will consider this conflict frozen. Basically, I'll tell you, let me make it very easy for all of us to understand. Ladies and gentlemen, what's happening is that America, Germany, and because when you say America and Germany, you mean much of NATO, they'll come around if they haven't come around now, is that they have decided to wash their hands of this conflict. They have said that it's not worth it. They are not going to pursue Ukraine and the Russia conflict any longer. One of the main reasons is to get Russia out of China's embrace. That is number one. Number two, idea is to focus more on China and not on this nonsense called Ukraine. And thirdly, there is a serious problem in Israel. They're fighting the Hamas. So the world has its attention there, and Ukraine has fallen off the world's map right now. So America and Germany want to wash their hands off this entire conflict. And when they say we're washing our hands off, it automatically means that the rest of NATO will also follow suit. Also in the news, ladies and gentlemen, is Hamas senior commander, 3 other leaders killed in Gaza. And they said that in a statement, the military wing of Hamas, the Izz ad-Din al-Qassam brigades, said Ahmed Gandour, the commander of its northern Gaza brigade, Ayman Siam, the head of Hamas's rocket firing array, as well as Wael Rajab and Rafat Salman were killed. The Israel Defense Forces had previously said that they targeted Gandour and Siam but did not confirm they had been killed. Now they have confirmed that they are dead. Now all these guys, they'd been hiding in various tunnels and all. They were safely tucked away inside some tunnels. People were dying overhead. They said, nothing doing. We are the leaders of Hamas. We are safe. Israel apparently put a missile in one of the tunnels and goodbye Hamas. That's what is happening. And they've given a brief profile of Ahmed Gandour and Ayman Siam and Rajab and Salman and all these guys, and they were middle to senior level leadership of Hamas. Not the senior most, because the senior most level leadership does not live in Gaza, Palestine, they live in Qatar. But, the second rung leaders are being wiped out very, very fast. Now with that, I come to the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen, and now I have a few questions and answers which I'd like to answer. Harshil Mehta says, Jain, Major Saab, Jain Harshil. As illegal Muslim immigrants and their colonies, ghettos is an issue of concern not just for European countries, but also for us. Don't you think, sir, this can create internal security ruckus on our border states, and what steps shall be taken to protect our demography? It's already creating a ruckus. Rohingyas and Bangladeshis already. There is a major problem which never comes in the media, and that major problem is in Assam. We talk about Rohingyas going to Kashmir, Jammu, and we talk about Rohingyas in West Bengal. Nobody talks about Assam. There is a problem in Assam. And many people in positions of responsibility have told me that, because I was in Guwahati and I met a lot of senior people, and they've told me that much of the infiltration does not happen from Bangladesh per se. Much of the infiltration actually happens from West Bengal. So they enter into West Bengal where they get all their papers made, etc., etc. They have some local support. I don't know what it is, but this is what I've been told. They have a lot of local support, and local politicians of various parties, not just one, various parties help them in getting Aadhaar cards and getting PAN cards and passport, I don't know what all. And once they have that, they slowly move them into Assam. Regarding Assam, let me tell you something. In Assam, the problem is that the population is less and the state is very big, right? So, per square kilometer population in Assam is less as compared to West Bengal. And which is why in some reaches of Assam where it's isolated, you will find these thousands of Bangladeshis and Rohingyas who have set up camp. Yes, it's a dangerous situation for us because amongst them are active Al-Qaeda. I've tweeted about it, I think, once. Active are Al-Qaeda and also Jamaat al-Islami. They're very active amongst this refugee population. Number 2, Thunderbolt. Jain Major, Jain Thunderbolt ji. God forbid if Iran, after losing the proxy war against Israel, tries to buy nukes from Pakistan and succeeds, will there be a nuclear war if Pakistan becomes an abject poor country, if they haven't already become? Will they sell nukes to the elements that are a nuisance to the world? See, I'll tell you what. Pakistan will not sell nukes like that. It might help certain countries. And Pakistan has sold nukes in the past, but I think over a period of time, Pakistan has not become responsible, it's become greedy. And Pakistan realizes that the only thing Pakistan has, the only thing that sets it apart from other Muslim countries is nuclear weapons. Otherwise, Pakistan, if you remove nuclear weapons from Pakistan, it's like any fourth world country. I mean, there is nothing in Pakistan, nothing whatsoever. It's got a corrupt elite. It's got a disgruntled poor. It has very little middle class. Its economy is down in the gutter. Its diplomacy is down in the gutter. Its respect, its honor, its credibility is down in the gutter. Everybody hates Pakistan, right? So you're saying that should somebody sell nuclear weapons to Iran, let's say Pakistan sells nuclear weapons to Iran. This is exactly what Israel has been warning us about for decades now. America somehow managed to convince the world that no, we'll handle it through talks and all. With Iran, talks do not work. It's a fanatic, radical Islamist regime. They're not hiding this fact. You see, the problem is that, like for example, Pakistanis are radical, but they're greedy radicals. A Pakistani will say that I will die for my religion, and then you throw a few dollars, and then he'll come around and he'll say, no, I'll die for you, don't worry, I'll not die for my religion. That's a Pakistani for you. But in Iran, that's not the case. These are truly radicals, the Iranis. Yeah, great people, great population. These mad mullahs of Tehran, they're totally nuts. They're a separate case altogether. So I'm not saying that the population of Iran is bad or the people are bad, because the people are excellent. I've met a couple of them, exceptional people, very great people, but their leadership is absolutely nuts here. They're crazy. Their leadership is mad. And they have always said, they've been very open about it, that we want to wipe out Israel from the face of this earth. We want to throw the Jews into the sea. They're not hiding it. I don't know why we are hiding it or the world is hiding it, but Iran has always been very, very blunt about it. They've said it on record so many times. So if you want to remove any threat to the world from nuclear weapons, you have to take away nuclear weapons from Pakistan, number one, and the ability of Iran to make nuclear weapons. This should be taken as priority. Okay, the third question is from Shivaram Brahma Reddy Amire. Boss. This. And in the end, he is writing 6802. So, 6802, hi. Why can't United Nations take decisions that immigrants from Muslim countries should go to only Muslim countries where they will be treated fairly well, rather than other countries which despise them? No, that's not the case. I think that's the wrong way of looking at it. Whether an immigrant is Muslim or belongs to any other religion, right? First of all, legal immigration is something that everybody should look forward to. Legal immigration. This illegal immigration is, something that is the bane of everybody's existence. And it's not just Muslims only. It's not just Muslims only. Illegal immigration happens with every religion in the world here. And I'm not trying to be balanced here. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm not trying to be balanced. I'm just telling you the truth. Or balanced in the sense, I'm not trying to balance it out. That's what I mean to say. And UN can't tell countries to take or not take. UN does not run countries. Countries run countries. So that's an independent policy. They can take whomsoever they wish. But whether they're taking a Hindu or a Muslim or a Sikh or a Christian, my view is take qualified, educated people. Don't take riffraff. Because riffraff of any faith will always be a problem for everybody. So ladies and gentlemen, with that I come to the end of this video. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to press the bell icon. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata Ki Jai.